a very good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching us from. This is Crafters TV. My name's Ben Mosby, and we're going to be doing a softer side of life. This is my second week here at Crafters TV. Yes, can you believe it? They've invited me back to do some more. To be honest, I'm as shocked as you are. But listen, I'm going to enjoy every single minute of it, and I tell you what, I'm looking forward to this show. What I will say is that you need to get in early because we've got so many deals for you, and as always, people like to shop ahead. People like to grab the bargains before the show starts. So hopefully you're one of those people that's already been on our website, you're shopping ahead and buying the deals, because let me just tell you, things are already flying out of the door. Plenty to show you over the course of the next couple of hours. Lots of information and demonstration. And it's not just me. It's time to go over to the corner. And not just any corner. Bernie Corner!
This corner!
How are you?
How you, Ben? How lovely to see you again. It's been absolutely ages since we've last worked together. I can't even count how many months. But when I found out that I was doing the softer side, I was so excited. Then when I found out that you were hosting it with us, that was amazing.
Well, do you know what? I was as excited, and you even tagged me in a little Facebook post as well, didn't you? Which I got very excited about. There's lots coming up on the show, but give us a bit of an overview as to what is coming up. But one thing I know you'll be mentioning is that we've got a freebie on the show, haven't we? If you spend £20 or dollars, we've got something to give away. Yes, we have. We've got... oh, Bernard, I thought you were going to say that.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, there you go. We've got a free binding tool. I'll do it for you.
I was nearly getting my demo ready there as well. So, yeah, we have. So, we've got... This is the free binding tool. So, basically, if I just grab a quilt... I'm just going to show you quickly. So, if anyone doesn't know what binding is, this is the binding. So, when you put it on the end of your quilt and you're going to join it, you want it neat. You don't want it puckered. You want it lovely because that's going to frame your finished piece. And this tool actually helps you do that with ease. So you're going to get that free. What is it if you spend over £20?
Yeah, £20 or $20
Brilliant.
in the sewing category. This is coming your way worth $6.99 or $9.95. And I know you will be spending that sort of money during this show because you'll be wanting to fill your basket with all of the goodies that we have got. So do not miss out. I just want to quickly run you through the fabrics that we've got on the show because these are absolutely flying out of the door. So let's just show you the details here. The 100% Flutter cotton half meter fabric. So you can order this in the half meters, of course, and we've got it in a variety of beautiful different colors. So quickly running through all of the different colors that we've got. We've got the ant gold. Now that is $3.19 or $4.79. That one is limited stock. Do you remember my little saying from before, Bernie, or not? Or am I going to have to remind you?
Yes, no, okay. I remember it,
okay.
Yes.
There's green on the screen, which means it soon won't be seen.
It soon won't be seen.
There you go. There we go.
That's the clean version.
Much better. There is no dirty version. Outrageous.
Trying to get you in trouble, Ben.
We've got the ant gold for you. Next up, we've got, she's going to be trouble, I can tell. We've got the beige. It's absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, the detailing on here is amazing. You've got those beautiful butterflies and those sort of meadow flowers. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Again, $3.19 or $4.79 if you're in the US, saving 20% on all of the different colours of the fabric that we've got here. We'll go through it with a bit more of a pace here because otherwise we will be here for ages. Like next up is the beautiful bottle green. Again, we'll not shout this every time, but this is already limited stock. You're going to have to go quickly if you want to take advantage of these deals. It's super fabric and loads of people have been buying before the show. What a mess I'm making over here. I'll tidy this up in a minute when we go over to Bernie. Next up, it's the Camel. You'll get the hump if you don't get this one. Nothing. Right, next, this is the Camel. Again, $3.19 and $4.79 is the price on that one. Bernie's sort of smiling, I think. Next up, still in stock, is the chocolate, but again, proving really, really popular is this. Details coming up on your screen. I think this is limited as well. Take a look at that. Absolutely gorgeous, flying out of the door. Go quickly if you want to get it. Remember, it's by the half meter, so $3.19 or $4.79 if you are in the States. Oh dear, what a mess. Next up is the pink, the deep pink. Guess what? This is also limited stock. There's green on the screen, which means It soon won't be seen.
It soon won't be seen. I need some lessons, don't I?
One job.
I'm blaming that voice in my ears, not
$3.19 or $4.79 for the deep pink. It's not that hard to remember, for goodness sake. Next is the what? Oh, the black. Don't scream and shout, but that's now
sold out.
Yes, buddy. Well, that one's gone, so I'll pop that down there. Right, next up we've got the what? Don't scream and shout, but the lemon's now
sold out.
It's gone. Well, thank goodness we've got this next colour still available. This is the Don't scream and shout, but it's now
sold out.
It's gone. Are you joking me? Next up is the olive. We've still got some olive available. This is limited stock though. Take a look at this. Absolutely beautiful. You know what I was saying at the start of the show? Go quickly. Yeah, you're going to have to, because this is going to go as well. $3.19 or $4.79. The olive is still available for you. Right, next up, we have got for you the orchid. You can see as well how these colours are going to work so beautifully together. And this one as well, you can see as we're getting a little bit closer, a bit more detail on that beautiful pattern as well. The wonderful butterflies landing on those sort of meadow flowers. That is limited, the orchid. Again, if you want to go for it, go quickly. We move along from the orchid to the purple, which is, guess what? Limited stock. These are going to go. I'm not sure when we're getting these back in either. So if you are thinking to yourself, I want to get these, get them now whilst you can, because you might be waiting a while once these do sell out for us to get these back in stock once again. And once again, you can order by the half metre, $3.19 or $4.79 for the purple. Next up is the rose. I think all of these, they're either sold out or they're limited stock. It shows you how popular they are. People are savvy shoppers here at Crafters TV. They are shopping before we go live, nicking all the stock before people are even tuning in. There's the rose for you. Again, absolutely gorgeous. And I tell you what, oh hello, I'm destroying the set here, but I'll tell you that the sky, the royal, the sunshine and the white don't scream and shout, but they've all
sold out.
Yeah, they've all gone. They've all gone. Now, as I said, I don't know when we're going to get the stock back in, but we're going to try and get some stock of those sold out ones back in stock in the next couple of days. We'll hopefully let you know as soon as that is the case. But you can see of the beautiful fabric we've got left, you're going to have to go quickly. So get those in your baskets now whilst you can. Let's give you some pictures of other goodies that we've got on the show whilst I sort out my table here. Now, these erasable pens are going to be very, very handy indeed. If you want to pop these in your basket, you're going to get 6 in total, $8.98. or $11.93. It's a 15% saving for everybody across the board on those. As you'll know, very handy to have in your stash. Next up, again, making life a lot easier are your nesting dies. Now, these are on a bogger. Doesn't quite work the same as a bog off, does it? But we'll call it that anyway. It's a bogger, which is a buy one, get one
half price.
Yes, Bernie. I'm loving this. We're getting there now, like a well-oiled machine. So we've got the nesting dies, nesting circles rather, and you'll see how handy these are to have in just a few moments' time, and some of the things that you can create as well. The hearts also available for you, $24.99 or $39.95. Next up are your triangles. Again, remember, buy one, get one half price. And then these are absolutely gorgeous. I think these are, excuse the pun, I think these are going to fly out of here. That wasn't intentional. The butterflies, really love these. Again, $24.99 or $39.95. Now, something else that we've got on the show, which I know proved popular last Tuesday on the softer side, actually. We brought these in sort of quite late on the show and they flew out the door. The Snap Fastener collection, just a brilliant collection for all sorts of different projects. It is $29.99 or $34.95. You get your tool, and then you get all of the you get the refills as well to go with it. So again, if you want to grab that, it's over 30% off for everybody once again. So it's $29.99 or $34.95 if you're in the States. Now, talk about amazing deals. These are unbelievable. These So Inspired magazines where you get loads of freebies with them as well. These are usually $9.99 or $14.95. Today we're saying save 70%. and take them home for £3 or £4.49. So issue 17, packed full of goodies, allows you to make the quilt that you're seeing on the front cover there, £3 or £4.49. You've got to go for it because those will fly out of the door. Next up is issue number 18. Again, loads of inspiration in there. You've got your freebies in there too, allowing you to make a huge amount, including, there's a bag on that one. And what was the other thing on that one, Bernie? What's the other one?
On 18 is the candle mat.
Oh, the candle mat.
Yeah.
Yes, that was it.
The little puppy or cat bed.
The cat bed, or you can use it as like a
big slipper.
Yeah, big slipper.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, we'll show you in a bit. £3 or £4.49. And issue 19, again, £5 or £7.48. But genuinely really busy for this again. It is a half price deal. So fill up your baskets. Things are already flying out the door and we've already got so many of you watching. Sarah from Melbourne, Australia is watching. Hello, Australia. Rebecca from Austin, Texas. Shadiah from Ottawa in Canada. Annette from Durham and Loretta from Arizona, all watching already. Do get in touch. Anything you want to know, anything you want to show, anything you want to ask as well, you can get in touch with us via the usual channels on Facebook and also down on the grams. Yeah. Get in touch and we'll read out your comments throughout the show. One thing we must mention as well is that we do have a free downloadable for you on the show. Now, this is rather cool. Oh, here we go. I'll let Bernie explain. So basically, it is a free downloadable. And it is, apparently, a barbecue. Is that right?
Well, I didn't have long to think of a name, Ben, and all I could come up with was Bernie's bonus quilt.
Oh.
So barbecue. So you won't forget it.
No.
You won't forget it.
No. So you're not actually going to be able to make a barbecue, but you are going to put together that beautiful quilt. So you can get your hands on that via our website, and no doubt we'll be talking more about that as we head through the show as well. There we go. Kind of set you up with everything that you need to know. So many goodies which are flying out the door, so get them whilst you can. If anything else sells out whilst we're sort of demonstrating, I will let you know. But Bernie is, of course, here. What are you going to show us first up?
Well, Ben, I was hoping to use these fabrics.
Oh, no. All the sold out ones.
These are all the ones that have sold out. Shall I tell you why they're so popular?
Yeah, go on.
These are, because you've got that little ditzy print on there, a lot of people like to use these as a background or as a filler on their quilts. So it's, and also as well, when you're doing quilting, which we're going to do some quilting later on, if you've got a really stark plain fabric and you do a stitch and you feel it's a little bit wonky, it'll stand out more to you. Because you've got that pattern on there, like a ditzy print, it doesn't. So it's very forgiving. And because the blenders as well, you've got all those different shades. So that's why these have been so popular. I'm not surprised that, I mean, I know there was lots selling before the show and I was getting a little bit worried. But that's why people love them, because I've got quite a few at home. I've got some on now as well. So one of the perks of the job is obviously we get fabric to prep with. So, but I'm only allowed a half a metre.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. Oh,
rationed.
Yes. Yeah, I will. I'll use it, and I'll still have loads left because I'm dead canny with my fabric. I don't like cutting it when I shouldn't. But also as well, yeah, you've seen that fabulous quilt behind me. So a little background behind this one is last year I started doing quilting weekends at our store, and I did this quilt on a smaller scale for a weekend for a dozen ladies. I'm hoping that we get some photos in from them because they made some fantastic ones.
Oh,
and some of them actually made them in this colourway.
Yeah.
And what you want to be thinking about is you're going to go from light to dark. So when you pick your colours, once you download the pattern, it's free. So you go on the website and download that for free. It gives you all the quantities. Obviously, I've named these ones here that we're using, but you would just follow from light to dark. And you'll see what, because you've got the diagrams on there, you hopefully can. If anyone gets stuck, message me. Absolutely, I will help you. There's no problem at all. Obviously, if it's the middle of the night, I'll
you probably won't get back straight away.
But yeah, if anyone gets stuck. But I say I've got all the instructions here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how actually to put one of these blocks together.
Cool.
So let me just pop that to the side first. So this is one of the blocks here. And basically you're going to make, and was it double check? 18. It does tell you in the instructions. You're going to make those exactly the same. And then you're going to cut them up a little bit and put them together and your quilt's practically done. It's so easy. For anyone who looks at it and thinks it's difficult, you've actually sewn strips of fabric together. So I'll just pop that aside first. Right, so in true style, I've got some that I've already cut, but I need to cut my black. So I'm just going to show you. Have you done any rotary cutting before, Ben? Have you dabbled at all?
I have not, although as I was saying to you before the show, I think I'm going to be getting into sewing and stuff soon, because my daughter's really crafty. We started card making, which she really enjoys, and actually she's better at that than I am. And she said to me, no word of a lie, yesterday, that she wants to start sewing. I think her friend at school is big into sewing, so she wants to start doing stuff. So I was actually talking to you, wasn't I, before the show about sewing machines and recommendations.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. It's with me. Leave it with me. But yeah, it's so addictive. It is really. So what I'm going to do is I've got my fabric here.
Yeah.
And this is my 1/2 metre. I've already used some of it, and I've just folded it in half. And I've got our 6 by 12 inch ruler here. It's in our quilting starter kit, which is a good one to get actually. I know we haven't got it on the show, but it'll be on the website, where you get a mat, the ruler and the rotary cutter. And all I'm going to do is a 2.5 inch strip. So there we go.
Okay.
Keep that nice and neat for later. And then I want to cut subcut 2 strips out of this. And I've got my fabric wrong side up. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to cut the end off. Now I am left-handed and I'm going to cut right-handed, but I'm being very careful.
Okay.
There we go. And I need a 10.5 inch and I need a 12.5 inch. So I'm going to go along the top and just cut that. And the one thing that I always say as well, and any of the girls in my classes, it's so funny because we always have a little joke about it. I'll say you must get sick of me saying to you, you need to lay your block out. So whenever you're doing a block and you're starting to sew, you always need to lay your pieces out, because it's so easy to sew 2 bits together and then you've got to unpick.
Oh, right, yes, I can imagine.
And I hate unpicking. Absolutely hate unpicking. So I'm going to put my block there so I can follow it, but obviously in here you're getting step-by-step instructions of how to put them together.
Yeah.
So like I say, I hold your hand all the way through it. And then you basically, whenever you're making a block, for anyone who hasn't done patchwork before, you're cutting your fabric up and then you're sewing it back together again in a certain order.
Okay.
And like I say, I always lay my pieces back down. Let me get these. But I say, if these, I mean, I hope we do get these back in stock. But if not, and you want to order some fabric today, if you go for a range that goes from light to dark.
Yeah, Loretta actually on Facebook, on YouTube rather, has said these colours are pretty, so really appreciating the colours that you've picked, but with the colours that we've got left. So that's the tip then, right? So get a selection of colours where you go from light to dark and build up your blocks that way.
Yes. I mean, if we look at the quilt behind me, the one that I actually made originally, on here, it was a while ago, we had some fabric strip rolls that were 2.5 inches wide. And these were the colours that were in that strip roll. So there was the yellow, brown, the green, the turquoise, and then the blue.
Yes.
And then I added the black on as well, because you want that definite colour, the darker colour, to make it pop. But it's all you need to do is put it in shading. So here's another top tip for you. Most of us have a smartphone or a tablet that we can take photographs with. What you can do is, once you've laid out your colours like this, so I'm going to scuttle my block, you're going to lay all your colours just in order of what you think are light to dark. Okay, you're then going to get your camera or your tablet, you're going to take a photograph of it and then go into that the photo to edit it and change it to monotone, so it puts it all into greys.
Oh, clever.
And then you can see that actually this one here should actually go there.
Yeah.
So you then swap it again and then take another photo. Or some cameras may be a bit posher than mine. I don't know if you can change the camera filter to show black and white, that you're taking in black and white. And then you can just arrange them. And then if you're not happy and you were adamant you want them the other way, put them the other way. It's totally your choice. As long as you go from light to dark. That's the key.
That's the top tip, that's
the only one. I have took, honestly, the amount of photos I've took when I'm matching colours up is a bit ridiculous.
You get
sometimes.
messages on your phone now telling you to delete some pictures because you've used up
yeah,
all the
because I've
storage
got too many in. And the message should come up, Benny, it's all of this range of fabric.
Yeah.
So we can see there that I've actually, get them wrong around, I've laid this in order, and you think, well, actually, it doesn't look like that one here, but this is because this has all been stitched together with the seam allowance. So I'm going to start sewing a few together. Now, for anyone, again, if you haven't been sewing before in patchwork, there's 1/4 inch seam is your key measurement. So I would always say have a little practice on your machine just to make sure that you get your 1/4 inch. Okay.
All right.
Okay, and then I'm going to put that on, and then I'm just finger pressing here, but it's a good habit to get into, to press as you go. I hope Sarah's not watching, because Sarah's just presses as she goes all the time. She's brilliant, and I'm a bit naughty sometimes, and because I want to get on and sew, I'm a bit naughty into finger pressing.
It'd be funny if we got a message from her this week, because I remember last week on Softer Side I was with Sarah and then you messaged in, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Whilst you were watching.
I did. I've just unthreaded my needle there. I'll just rethread.
Okay. Well, they loved your Rebecca, loving your tip on Facebook, and Jill on Facebook says that is a fab quilt to make. It makes it sound like you've already made it. So if you have, send in your pics. Maybe you were at one of Bernie's classes, or anything that you've made recently. We would love to see. This is your opportunity to show us your makes, send in your pictures, and then we can share them with the rest of the world.
I love seeing pictures.
I know, it's great, isn't it? studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. In fact, we can just have a quick look at some of these pictures coming in. Some of Bernie's ladies.
Yay! So I know. That
one.
one's actually Jill's. So that may have been who's messaged. That's Jill's, and that's in this colourway.
Yeah.
Obviously, that might look a little bit purpley on there because obviously the camera, the photo, but that is in this colourway. So that's the one that Jill made at my quilting weekend.
It's got a real 3D effect to it, hasn't it?
Hasn't it just?
It's amazing.
And then we did another range in yellows and browns.
Yeah. Who's this then?
And this is Joyce. This is Jill's mum.
Oh, brilliant.
So they both come together to my classes.
Yeah.
And that's Joyce, so she chose so that's gone from cream, and in the middle there is that antique gold in there, and then the outside one is the camel. So we use the actual Flutter fabrics in there.
Brilliant.
And it just shows a totally different effect, doesn't it? But you still need that darkness dividing them just to make it pop.
It works brilliantly, yeah. And I think we've got one more to show you here as well. And then this is the same colours again, isn't it?
And this is the same colours as well. And this one's Julie.
Yeah.
Who comes to my classes, and yeah, that's exactly the same colours. So don't they look amazing?
Just brilliant.
Great. Absolutely.
Keep sending in the pics. We love to see them, particularly if you've been to any Bernie's classes or anything else you want to show us. Let us see what you've been up to. Really busy for these erasable pens as well, by the way. Stock is flying out of the fabric. I never like to panic you into buying, but if you want to make sure that you get some of it, get it now, because we're going to be having more sellouts very, very soon indeed. The Threaders erasable pen sets, you're going to get 6 in total here, $8.98 or $11.93. Basically, writes like a pen, disappears like a pencil. Is that right?
It does. So the heat erasable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be using these in the next couple of demos actually. So if you're wanting to mark your fabric, and then you can actually just iron it away with your heat.
Oh, look at that.
So you can see there where it just disappears.
Yeah.
And what it does then, obviously, they were originally made for just normal pens that you could erase. So the tip of them, you can actually, if I take this out of my tool tidy, don't know if I've got any left, but I love mine. I just
probably haven't. We haven't got much of anything else left, to be honest.
Just keep dropping things in, I'll be getting in trouble just now. So my first shot will be my last on my own. So the little tip here is a rubberized tip. So that's actually that causes the friction as well, so that would erase it as well. If I do it on, so if I do it on the paper there, and then with the friction, there you go, disappears.
Yeah.
So you could on paper as well, but obviously we use them on fabric because the ideal for marking, you point out, and also as well, if you're a dressmaker and you'd use a lot of dressmaking chalk, so you can get heat erasable pens, and they're going to actually make the job a little bit quicker. And I say they just iron away with the heat. Or I tell you what I've done sometimes, if I've had the heating on in the house and my iron's not on,
Put it on the radiator.
I've just put it over the radiator.
And it still goes?
And it goes away, yeah.
That's clever, isn't it?
Yeah,
Reminds me of
it just
those pens you used to have at school, double-ended pens, and you'd be able to write with one end, and then you flip it over and make it disappear the other end. Did you ever have those?
Yeah, I've actually got one at home
Have you?
somewhere, yeah.
Clever stuff, isn't it? These are flying if you want to grab them. You're getting 6 pens in total for £8.98 or £11.93. Always very handy to have. So get those into your basket whilst you still can. How are you getting on over there with that block?
I'm getting there, but I'm conscious that we've used all the fabric, so I might do this one on, and then just quickly show you how we put them on, because I've got that one that's finished.
I know it probably says on the instructions, but how many of those do you need to make that quilt?
I'm sure there's 18. Let me check. Yes.
Is it?
Yes, there's
18 in total.
So you make 18 the same. So what I do is I cut all of my, I've sewn that on the wrong side anyway, so can I do that one anymore? See this, because I didn't lay it back down, Ben. Yeah. I should have sewn that bit onto there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Blame me.
But that's when you unpick. You have your unpick edge, your best friend.
Well.
But yeah, so if I get the one I've already done, I'll pop that one aside. Nothing to see here. But it happens. It just shows that it happens.
That's it.
You know, you're not going to have making a whole thing and not do one little thing wrong.
No, exactly.
I've never done that.
Exactly right.
There's always something goes wrong. So what you're going to have is you're going to have your full quilt, and then it tells you to put so many of them aside, and then it tells you that you need to cut some up as well. And if I just go to the quilt at the back, and I'm going to hold, let me take that one with me. Right. So if I hold this one up.
Okay.
Can we see there?
Yes.
How that fits in?
Uh-huh.
Like that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, I can see how that. But then can we see here we've got a half of it. Is that going to stay? Ooh,
oh, it has as well. Look at that.
Oh, right. So let me get this piece here. So this is one that I've cut in half.
Uh-huh.
And I've cut it in half this way.
Yep.
And then that.
Oh, no, I knew that was too good to be true.
But then this one goes in here. So can you see there that that's how that one fits in there? So in the instructions, it'll tell you to cut some in half and then some into quarters to go along the bottom, and then how to piece them all together. So it's basically, although it looks more complicated, this is what's called setting a block on point.
Uh-huh.
And you're putting it like into a diamond, if you like. So yeah, that's as easy as it is. You're just making that one block. You know, you're just going to make them all, cut all your pieces out first, and then follow the instructions, and you're there, you're finished. And then when you get to the end and you're going to do your binding, obviously, if you've bought your fabric today or whatever else, you've got that binding tool to help you put the binding on as well.
I tell you what, hopefully you take advantage of these deals. If you want to get the instructions there, the barbecue as we're calling it, Bernie's bonus quilt, go on the Shop the Show page and you'll be able to download that and follow it with words and pictures as well, which is quite handy, isn't it? And hopefully you manage to get your hands on some of that fabric as well. And when I say hopefully you manage to get your hands on some of that fabric, I'm not being funny. We sold out about 4 different colours a minute ago. Now, let me just tell you, sold out, 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 sold out. It's all gone. So have I got to take it all off? All the ironing that our Jake did earlier on, he laid it out beautifully, expected it to last the show, and you bought it all inside half an hour. That's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. No, thankfully we do have more. We do have more to bring to you. We've got loads of magazines. Now I've got to remember which side my magazines are. Issue 17. Right, here it is. I've got so much stuff down here. Right, these are an absolute bargain, let me just tell you. If you've missed out on these, they are amazing. It's a 70% saving if you want to take advantage of this deal. So £3 here in the UK, $4.49 in the US, and it is simply unbelievable. You get in here your magazine, which is packed full. Let me tip it all out. You get your magazine, which is packed full of inspiration, demonstration, hints and tips as well. 28 projects in this one for you. But what I love about it is, like, front to back to front, it is just jam-packed with beautiful ideas. Look at the little doggy! Sorry, why did my voice go so high then? But got very excited there. But you can see loads of projects in here, and I would guess once again the great thing about a magazine like this is that you've got the ability to have a go. You know, even if you're sort of brand new to this, no matter where you are on your sewing or quilting journey, you've got projects in here which you are going to be able to get your teeth stuck into. And great, the fact that it's the kind of thing, isn't it, that you can kind of put on your coffee table and just have a little read, and then get all the bits and pieces that you need, and then get going. But as you can see, so many different projects in there. You've got all your templates included in there too. And as I've said, plenty of projects to keep you going. Also within this collection, you're going to get your fabric included. You've got in here also the patterns to make your bags, so some terrific totes as they're called there. And then you've also got in here, did that one come out of this packet? It did, didn't it? Yeah, it was ready something. So all of this is included, and as you can see on the front cover, you've got the ability to make, here's one I made earlier. I didn't. Look, look at this. I mean, that is, but who said keep it there? That is amazing. So Bernie, if we get this magazine, we can make this, right?
You can, yes. So that's what's called a Barziello Quilt.
Wow. And
it's absolutely fantastic. I'm pleased I haven't got it up next to me, because I think I might, with my top today, I might blend in with it. But it's another easy quilt. And I know it's easy for us to say something's easy or if it's difficult or whatever. But with the magazines, you're getting those step-by-step instructions and photographs. And with the Barziello one as well, I know I can say it because it was my pattern, that you've got a full chart in there. So you see, you can just follow it step by step. And again, that one is 2.5 inch strips. So I've done that, the one with the free gift, the free download, that's the 2.5 inch strips. It's a very, very popular with the fabric. So if you have any strip rolls already at home, or you've managed to get any of the fabrics today, that will be absolutely fab. Like, I've done that one in rainbow colours. Yeah. But if you do it, I've seen ones that go from white to black with a grey, and then just one line of red down the centre. How striking would that be? And it is all down to your fabric choices, really. But you get so much in those magazines. They're unbelievable, Ben.
Do you know what this colour? Do you know what this reminds me of? I wore my coat. Isn't it? Isn't it? You know what I'm talking about. Hey, but seriously, these are an absolute steal. The fact that you've got so much in there as far as inspiration is concerned, don't miss out. That is issue 17 for £3. What a bargain. We've also got the other 2 issues available for you as well. So issue 18, again, that is £3. And contains over, loads of different projects in there for you, actually. So don't miss out on that. 25 different projects in there. You've got your 6.5 inch folding ruler in there. You've got your project book, and you've got a fat quarter of beautiful fabric included as well. Your chance to make the beautiful bow clutch bag in there. Issue 19 also available. This is proving really popular. So this is the latest one of the magazines that we have available for you. And again, this is just absolutely stunning. 20 projects included in here. You've got your bag pattern in there and all of your bag hardware as well. So you've got the ability to put that together too. Is this the one with the dinosaur tail?
It is, yes.
Yes.
Yes, we've had fun with the dinosaur tail this morning.
It's here.
Have we got it? It's
on the back of my chair. I tell you what, look.
He's drooped a bit.
Pardon me. There we go. There we go. Oh, so is it round the other way? Oh no!
See, that dinosaur tail's dangerous, Ben.
I knew that was a bad idea. Why did I do it? Do you know what though? No word of a lie. Somebody messaged me last week and said you can't be an official presenter on the channel until you've destroyed the set. And now I've done it with a dinosaur tail. Yes. Thank you. Whilst I sorted myself out over here, I did it on purpose.
Oh,
whilst I sorted myself out over here, here's Bernie with some more inspiration.
So they're not having me again. Now they're not going to have Ben again. I don't know what you're going to do next week.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
well,
everybody.
Ben clears up, bless him. It's our nesting dies are, if you've not come across multimedia dies before, but say you're a paper crafter and you just watch them for the first time, what your multimedia dies are an extra thick blade. Well, no, it's not a blade, but the deeper one. If I get that, I don't think I've got a paper die to hand to show you. But they actually are thicker. But I'll say blade, they're not sharp. So I'm pressing my hand on there, they're not sharp. What happens is with the pressure of it going through the Gemini, or whichever cutting machine you're using, that pressure, that's pushing that metal through the fabric, and that's what cuts it. But obviously you can cut through fabric, faux leather, corkboard, hessian, glitter fabric, as well as all your cardstock and everything in your fabric. Upholstery fabric I've cut through, absolutely all sorts. So, you know, we say up to 6 to 8 layers of fabric, but if you want to try a few more, you can. And if you're cutting something thicker, just cut less layers, and you'll get to know your machine as well. So with these nesting dies are lovely ones to have in your collection, because I know everyone's going to have a collection. I'm ignoring the noises that are happening at the other side of the studio. But I just want to show this one. Now, I know we're not supposed to have favourites, but this nesting die set here, I don't buy 2 of many dies. I've got 2 of these sets because I use circles so much, and especially if I'm doing classes as well and a lot of prep work, you've got a lot there. You can cut 2 at a time. So the circles on, and obviously the offer's buy one get one half price. So we've got the circles there. We've got the hearts. We've got the gorgeous butterflies. I know our Debbie Robinson's very partial to her butterflies. And then you've got the triangles as well. And they all nested in the different sizes, scaled down. And what I'm going to do is show you a nice little project using, I'm going to use the heart and the butterflies. I won't use my favourite one. But honestly, to buy one, get one half price, it's absolutely fantastic. So am I allowed to use this fabric?
Well, you'll have to, I think, to be fair.
So I've got... With this one, I've actually got scraps of fabric. They're not big pieces. You don't actually need loads of fabric for this project, what I'm going to do. And I'm actually going to cut out the 2 smallest sizes. Now, I've got my trusty Gemini Junior with me. Now, these dies will all go through. Let me just check that largest butterfly. I'm sure they're going to go through. Yeah, they're all going to go through your Junior as well. So if you've only got the Junior, well, I'm saying only, it's still a powerful machine. It's the same power, it's just a different size plate. I want them out, don't I? They will go through there. So I'm just going to take these. Now, these dies especially lend themselves, firstly, in my thought, when I first start looking at them, is a plique. So that's when you're cutting out your small pieces of fabric and then you're sticking them on to the rest to your bigger piece of fabric. So I'm going to make a design for the front of a cushion. But what you also can do, especially with this heart one, I've seen a lot of these designs. You'll see them in those shops when you go in like shabby chic look. Yeah. Where you've got 2 hearts, you can cut 2 hearts out, sew them together and put some lavender stuffing inside and just put a little hanging loop on. This is perfect for that, especially if you're doing craft fairs and things like that, because you can bulk cut. And if you are doing it, and as our Angel policy is, make and sell as much as you want.
That's
so
amazing.
You can make loads and loads. And, you know, if you've got even in the butterflies. Oh, I'm getting ideas now.
Will these have multiple layers then each side?
Yes, so up to 6 to 8 layers of normal cotton fabric.
Wow.
But depending on what fabric you use, if it's a thicker fabric, obviously it will be less layers. But leather, I was using some the other week where I cut a piece out of leather, and then I embossed it as well. Sarah taught me how to emboss. I was
Emboss
like,
the leather?
I embossed the leather. Have I got some leather today?
What, through your Gemini?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'll see when later on when it's back on you, Ben. I'll see if I can find some, and then I can show you. So I've got my 2 little hearts here, and my 2 butterflies, and then I've got my clear plate. He's off again.
That wasn't me that time. I didn't touch it.
I've got my clear plate. Then I've put my metal shim in. So when you're cutting the multimedia dies, you better to use the metal shim. And then what's happening is it's metal cutting into metal, and you get a cleaner cut. I've actually got 6 layers of fabric here. I've just got a mixture of colours. So I'm just going to lay them on. There we go. And it doesn't matter which way they go. I'm just going to lay them all on. Oh, let's get that one all on the yellow. I'm so pleased. Well, I'm not pleased the fabric's sold out, but I'm pleased everyone's been shopping and buying it, because it is fabulous. It's fabulous fabric. And I mean, these colours are stunning. I mean, these, in that Barziello, I made it in plain fabrics, but in the Flutter by it would look fabulous. So then I've got my plastic shim and my other clear plate. Now, I haven't put any tape on. I'm going to be brave.
Okay. Ooh.
And I'm just going to put that through the Gemini. Now, this is one thing. When I first got one, I worried. I thought, oh, that fabric's hanging out there. It's going to get caught in. It doesn't. As soon as the rollers get to the end of the plate, it disengages. So it's never, ever going to get that trapped inside, which I think is a great feature as well. Oh, they're coming off already. So we can see how these are cutting. I mean, look how they're just coming out.
Beautiful. So how many did you go through there then? How many?
So 6 layers.
6 different layers.
And I'm pretty sure it would have done more, to be fair, because there's none. What might happen if you cut through more layers, all that'll happen is it'll cut through, and there might just be like a little bit here where you just have to snip a thread. So, you know, it's not a problem. So I've cut absolutely loads out there, and I've only used that little bit of fabric. So I'm going to get my cushion front. Watch me lose me dies. I lost a die at home the other week, and I still haven't found it. I haven't. I won't tell you which set it's out of. I'll be in trouble. My bin's the last place I haven't looked.
Oh, no, you've not put the bin out yet, have you?
But no, it's still, I've got a big bin in my sewing room. Yeah, I've got a big bin in my sewing room. So I've just got just a piece of white linen here that I'm going to put my design on. And what I'm going to make is, I thought, a heart with all my little shapes. But
I love that idea.
I don't have a heart to draw around. So I'm going to get my big heart out of here, and I'm going to use that as a bit of a guide.
Love that idea.
Isn't that a good idea? Yeah. So I'm just going to, I don't know how well it's going to work, mind, we'll see.
Well, it's a bit of improv, isn't it? These are great, actually, aren't they? For people who want to get into kind of, you know, this sort of craft, maybe, you know, doing applique as well. This is great, isn't it? Because if you've already got your Gemini for your, you know, your card making and things like that, you can buy these multimedia dies, get some fabric, and then start, you know, crafting along like this. Because quite a simple way to kind of get into it, really, isn't it?
Exactly, it is, and it's a really easy way as well. Because especially if you've already got all the equipment.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm going to spread that out a little bit. I think because my ironing board's not as big as I would have liked. I want some more colours.
And the other thing as well, isn't it great? Like I mean, attempting to cut those by hand would take you forever, wouldn't it?
Oh, I'd be on ages.
Yeah.
Well, to get them,
wouldn't even do it.
To get them uniform as well, yeah, I wouldn't even bother. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play nice here, Ben.
Play nice,
and just get all of these arranged. And then I'm going to show you how we iron them down. So if you give me a minute and I'll get them all laid out. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Well, we've got loads of messages coming in. Eleanor is watching today saying, good morning, Ben and Bernie. Glad to see you both. Can't wait to see what's going to be on here today. Where else has been in touch this morning? Jill, of course, saw Jill with the quote a little bit earlier on. Bernie's the best, says Shadiah on Facebook. That's very nice.
Oh, thanks, Shania.
And Shadiah says, I love the tool tidy too, Bernie. I've got 3.
Wow. I've got 2.
Oh,
so yeah, you soon fill them.
Question for you here as well. I know you're obviously busy over there as well, but Sarah on Facebook asked, can you do the quilt with jelly rolls?
Absolutely, because they're 2.5-inch strips.
Okay.
So absolutely, jelly rolls. When jelly rolls, the trade name with a company.
Yeah.
We call ours strip rolls. So fabric strip rolls, 2.5-inch rolls. As long as if they're 2.5 inches wide, is absolutely perfect because that's the strips you need to cut. So brilliant.
And one other question, Gillian on Facebook says, can we get the download in Australia? Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah,
you can.
if you just go onto the
website.
If you go onto the I was thinking the way you go. So when you go onto the website, you click onto
Shop the show
offers, and then soft aside, and then there's a page shop the show.
Yeah,
and it's right. I was actually on it this morning, and it's right at the top. So basically, you go on, and you'll see the free download big button.
There you go. Cynthia says, out of everything, the Sewing Inspired magazine kits are my very favourite. I know there's a chat going on the socials currently, asking if you made the quilt that we showed you earlier on, the one that's by Bernie, which colours would you be using? And Janet on YouTube says, I'm planning on making mine in Christmas colours to give as gifts. That's the brilliant thing as well, isn't it? The fact that you know, once you've got these, whether you're making for yourself, whether you're making for friends or family, or like Bernie said too, you know, you can obviously make to sell as well, can't you? I know it's probably not as many craft fairs and things like that happening at the moment because of everything that's going on, but you know, once the world does get back to normal, what a brilliant thing to be able to do if you're making you know, quilts like that as well.
Online as well. I've seen a couple of adverts online, craft fairs online. Yeah. So if people are still doing the craft fairs, have a look and see if there's anywhere that you can do it online. Because I say our age policy is you can make and sell as many as you want.
Yeah, amazing.
So,
that's brilliant. So I've just seen what you're doing there now. Your heart out of butterflies.
The problem is what you start doing is then, I'll move that one, I'll move that one, I'll move that one.
Yeah.
So what I've done now, I did cut some out before the show with fusible adhesive on the back, just to make it quicker. And I just want to check which ones. I'll put them on. Yeah, so I'm going to take that one off, and I'm going to have that. Oh no, I want the green one. see?
Make your mind
I want the green one there in the centre. So all of these have got heat and bond on. So these will all stick down with the heat from the iron, but this one won't. So what I've got is our stick and stay spray.
Right. Yeah, I noticed those. There's 3 different ones.
Yeah, so we've got different ones. So the stick and stay one's the orange one. So this is the one that's perfect for applique. So you're spraying it on when you're actually positioning it. It's temporary. As soon as you iron it, it becomes permanent. So it's perfect for doing applique when you don't want to do any sewing as well, or for if you're putting something on, if you're making a bag for the children or something and you want to put a patch on the bag that you can't actually put in the washing machine. This is perfect. So I haven't got Brenda spray booth. I'm going to get messy. And I'm just going to spray away from me.
Brenda's gone to America, apparently.
Has she? I've not used it yet.
Have you not?
No, I've not used it yet.
You went missing the other day.
So I've stuck that on there. And then the other thing I'm going to do, because I get a little bit sticky on your hands, it does wash off. I'm going to get my applique sheet. Now, again, I know we haven't got this on the show, but if you've already got one of these, or if there's any left on the website, this is just an ironing sheet. If you haven't got one, you can just put a piece of cloth over the top. And what we're going to do is just iron this down. And the heat's just going through this sheet and just sealing it down. So if you remember, that green one at the top was the one that we put the spray on. And I could have used it on all of them, Ben, but I thought it'd be like watching paint dry, won't it? Watching me.
Well.
And I thought I'd say it for you.
And just to ask, so the spray, so you use the stick and stay?
Yes.
And then, because it comes as a 3, so you get the stick and stay, the stick and spray, and you get the mark away spray?
Yeah. So the stick and spray is a temporary adhesive.
Right.
So that's perfect for your if you're putting something down and then you're going to stitch.
Yes.
I'll let you see that there. Look at that.
That's
really pretty,
gorgeous,
isn't it?
Look at that.
So you could go to town, just decide which one. And that's stuck on now. that one's not going to come off. So yeah, so you're going to use that one, but that one will wash away, the temporary one.
Right.
But I use it, and a lot of patchworkers and quilters will use it for layering up the wadding on the back of the fabric. So I'm going to use it later when we do the quilt and pattern guides to show how you use it on that. And then the mark away spray, the best way I can describe that then is it's chalk in a can. So if you've got a stencil, which I haven't got any to hand, I should have brought one with me. If you've got a stencil, say, so we'll pretend that's our fabric, that's our stencil, you're going to spray over it, and what will happen is the spray will hit where the stencil isn't. So if you've got any quilting stencils and you want to transfer that design onto your fabric, you spray it through, and when you take this away, you'd have like white lines, white chalk lines all around. And again, that will brush off, or it'll wash away as well. So if you're doing your quilting, or if you're doing hand quilting, the other thing as well is if you've got any embroidery stencils, and I know in one of the magazines we had that stencil pack, didn't we?
Yeah, that was
with the fox's head, the animals
17,
on.
I think.
You could actually transfer that pattern onto your fabric, then take the stencil away, and then cut around it. So you can use your heat erasable pen through that stencil. In fact, I'll grab one and do one a bit later, just quickly. You can use your heat erasable pen through it, and then iron it away, or you can use your mark away. So it's like chalk in a can's the best way to do it. But I say, it reminded me when I first got into that stuff you used to spray on your windows at Christmas.
Oh,
do you do that where you put the snow on the bottom?
Yeah.
But then it was a nightmare to get off. Ours is not such a nightmare. That does, obviously, I wouldn't spray it on your windows. I've not tried that.
So you got your mark away spray, you got your stick and spray and your stick and stay. They're on a 342, $7.99. Individually, and don't forget as well, must just remind you, if you spend $20 or £20 on the show, on any of the products that we've got, you will get your hands on the free binding tool as well, worth $6.99 or $9.95. So that's nice, isn't it, that you're going to get that into your basket as well. Now the nesting dies, as we said, are proving really popular. These are on a buy one get one half price, and you've got the hearts and the butterflies are in the lead, but you've also got your triangles and your circles there as well. So handy to have, aren't they? And as I said, particularly if you are if you're new to this as well, how nice and easy is it to get these, use them in conjunction with your Gemini, and all of a sudden you can start doing all these amazing things like we just saw Bernie do there. So you got your hearts, there's your triangles as well. They're all $24.99, so you've got these in your basket, and straight away you've got your free binding tool as well, and the beautiful butterflies too. So 6 different sizes within each, and there are your circles as well. $24.99 or $39.95 if you want to go for those. As I said, just nice and easy, and the fact that they are going to cut through multiple layers for you as well means that very quickly you can get making some amazing projects, whether it is for little pieces to stitch on clothing, little bits of applique for cushion covers and all these kind of things. Great. Love the idea as well that Bernie was saying a little bit earlier on about cutting out maybe a couple of hearts and filling it with lavender, and having them as little hangers. Or when my nan used to have little bags like that, she used to keep in her drawers.
Oh, yes.
Like your underwear drawers and
yes,
sock drawers and stuff
draw
like that.
I tell you what else would be good as well, like cinnamon, like Christmassy spice smells, and make them and hang them around the house at Christmas as well.
I love that, yeah.
Wouldn't they look fabulous?
Amazing.
I'm sorry, Ben, I just carried on and I was just happily sewing, because this is what I do. This is me. At home I'd be like, I'll just go and do a bit of sewing. I had a day off on Sunday, but I still went upstairs and did some sewing.
Well, of course. Wouldn't expect anything less.
I don't know, I just thought. So I'm just putting together here, I'm just making a quick cushion. But you know what I was saying, I'm always frugal with my fabric.
Yeah.
So when I got this fabric out, I thought, I haven't got enough to do the back of the cushion, to do like an envelope back, so when it double folds over. And I didn't have enough, so I only had like this little bit here. Let's see, I've got just a little bit of a gap. So when I put the cushion in there, that's going to gape. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute. What else have we got on the show today? Snap fastener.
We have got the snap fastener.
So later on, I'm going to put the snap fasteners on here and make this into a cushion. But I thought I'll get it all made. Now, you would clip your corners and your threads, and you can, the ideal opportunity for this is to use your overlocker. But what did Bernie do? Got the sewing machine out and forgot to get the overlocker out the cupboard. So we have got, I mean, that's going to go around here in a whiz. It's going to fasten, seal all those raw edges as well. So if you haven't got an overlocker, it's worth having a look at ours because it is a really good one. So here we go. Look at that. How cute is that? And I say you can just put them wherever you want. Now, if you want to, you could have stitched those down with a machine. But I've used, that one was the spray, which is now permanent.
Yep.
And the fusible adhesive I used on here was a heavyweight one as well. So they don't need stitching as well. So I just thought that's just a lovely, quick, easy make. And especially getting the kids involved, they can choose what fabrics they want to cut up. They can choose what shape they want to cut. Obviously, you can supervise them putting them through the Gemini, and then they can place them where they want, and then you can iron them down. And then it's their cushion, isn't it? You could do a letter. Oh, that's what I should have done, Ben. I should have done a B.
Oh, yeah.
A B for Ben, a B for Bernie.
Oh.
Or barbecue for the quilt.
BBQ. Might have needed a bigger cushion for that. There's lots of love for these nesting dies. Let me just tell you, Michelle on YouTube, these nesting dies are great. Yes, and the fact that you can use them for cards as well makes them an even better deal. Just one question about those dies from Michelle on YouTube. Is the plating the same for the multimedia dies as it is for the regular dies when you're putting them through your machine? Is it the same? So
regular as in paper dies, I think maybe does you mean. So no, there's a different sandwich.
Right, okay.
So you do, in the booklet that comes with the machine, it will give you the different sandwich combinations. But if I grab mine here, so for multimedia dies, you're not going to use your magnetic shim, which you'd usually use. The normal papercraft sandwich is your clear plate, your paper, your dye going into your paper, then your magnetic shim and your plastic shim and the other clear plate. So you take out the magnetic shim and replace it with the metal one, but you're going to actually cut into the metal. So if you can see on here how it's marked, and this is what will happen, that's showing you how well it's cut in. So there's those 4 that I cut today that show through, and then you're going to have your plastic shim and your other clear plate on top. Your machine will tell you as well if your pressure's not right, your sandwich isn't right, sorry, because it'll just push in dead easy and you think, oh, I'm missing a plate there because it's not taking it, or the machine will go, no, that's too thick, you've put too much in. So then you can just check what you've got. It could be that you've got too many. You might be trying to put like 6 layers of leather through, whereas 6 layers of fabric is great, but leather maybe 1 or 2 layers as well. So they are definitely different, but the machine, you can't break it because the machine will tell you. The machine will stop and say, no, I'm not having that today.
Well, it say that.
It does.
No, it doesn't actually say that.
It does.
Oh, it does?
Hey, I've heard it.
Yeah.
It's very shy though. It doesn't say it live on air.
No. So there you go, Michelle. And also I say good morning to Ange. She says, good morning from Northern Indiana. Better late to the party instead of it missing it all. Yeah. Well, we're about halfway through, actually. I'll say it's been a hugely busy show. We did have some fabrics on the front of the table here, all beautifully laid out by Jake. But you bought them within about the first half hour, so the fabric is gone. If you were here earlier on and you tried to get your hands on that and you're thinking, when is it back? We'll let you know as soon as it is, hopefully in the next few days. We will try and get more. We have got lots of goodies still, though, to bring to you. Some of the best deals, I think, that we've got on the show are these magazines, these Sew Inspired magazines. We've got volume 17, 18, and this one, volume 19, still available for you as well. And the price, unbelievable. This is a half price deal for you, £5 or $7.48. And again, with these, you get so much. I mean, the magazine in itself is, don't knock that over again, Ben, whatever you do, is amazing because, do you know, normally, like with these sort of magazines, you get sort of about 3/4 of the way through, don't you? Then it's all just sort of filler. With these magazines, front to back, it is jam-packed with ideas, with inspiration, with projects as well. And this is amazing, that day to night bag which you can make. You've actually got all of the hardware in there for that as well. You've got these beautiful Pom-Pom earrings. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. That table runner as well. Again, And if you're thinking of ideas, maybe for Christmas, you can make that in different colours. And then the quilt along in there as well. Oh, there's a face I recognise down there. That's our Bernie. But as you can see, and also what I love about this as well, I mentioned earlier on with these magazines, you've got, projects for beginners, you've got projects that are more experienced as well, and it actually tell you, kind of gives you your recipe, if you like, so you know exactly what you need, but it also tells you the skill level as well, so you kind of know where you are, and if there's kind of ones which you think, I'm maybe not ready for that yet, you will be able to find ones for your level as well. But plenty in the magazine, as I've said, front to back. You've also got in here the hardware and the pattern for your day to night bag as well, and here's one I made earlier. But this is the kind of thing that you can make. Absolutely beautiful, is it not? So again, not just a magazine, it allows you to put these beautiful pieces together as well. And as I say, included in this one, 20 amazing projects as well. £5 or $7.48. But get it whilst you can. It is a half price deal on that one. Right. We've also got the quilting pattern guides. Am I going to try and just put this back together again? Let me just put this back in here. Don't want to knock anything else over. I haven't managed to put that set back together again, actually. I actually, yeah, you do definitely get 4. The problem is, go to the VT. Good idea, Adam. The problem is, not only did I smash the set to pieces, but I think I've broken the stand. As well, so they'll be taking that out of me wages, won't they? For goodness sake! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So with this quilting pattern guide, yes, you get your orange peels, you get your apple cores, you get your circles, and you get your clamshells as well, which I think that our clamshells are currently on the floor. $56.97. Or $74.85. You're making an almost a £19 saving, or $24.95 for all 4 of those. And again, these are proving really popular. And I suppose the kind of thing that's just going to make life easier for you, Bernie, again, isn't it?
They are as well. And when you first look at them, though, a lot of people can be quite daunted and look and think, what on earth is that?
Yes.
Like, how do I use that? What do I do? Where do I start? Once you start looking at it and you understand it, it's absolutely addictive.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started free motion quilting, so that's where you have your fabric and you just move it yourself. You don't have any rulers to guide you or anything. And I couldn't do it. I was very jagged. I couldn't get that lovely, circular motion going. I just couldn't do it. Then once I started using these, once you see me using them, you'll understand how they actually work. You get a foot that we've also got on the show. We've got the low shank or the high shank foot, depending on your machine. I'm going to actually live change my foot on here. Okay. I haven't changed it on purpose, so everyone can see how easy it is, how you do it. But you'll see how the ruler foot actually fits up and nests against the side of the shape.
Yeah.
So on each of the packaging, we've give you inspiration, if you like, on what designs you could achieve with that one set. So we've got the apple core there, that's the circles, and they say there's all of the items that we've got, and then we've got the orange peel and the clamshell. Okay. But it is quite smaller there, so can I hold it up to the camera? Can you see? Oh, I've gone the wrong way.
That's it.
Oh, so there we go.
Bernie zoom.
Is that a bit of a Sarah zoom?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
All right.
So you're getting all those on there. So that's giving you that initial inspiration. But I just want to show you this first off. I know I've bombarded Ben with loads of samples this morning. I was like, that's for that, that's for that, that's for that. Bless.
I've got some more down there. You go first then.
But this one here is the orange peel. So from that ruler, you're going to make all of those line designs on there to stitch. And stitch down the actual fabric, but then on this one here, this one's done where we've had a button in the centre, and the design's just put on the plain fabric, so it stands out. So that's making a feature of them. But then other ones you're going to get where is actually it's quilting. So whenever you're quilting, you're going to have 3 layers of fabric. So you've got your fabric on the top, which is normally your patchwork, pretty design.
Yeah.
You've got your wadding in the middle, and then you've got your plain fabric on the back. Now, when you are quilting, you have to sew those 3 layers together somehow, or when you wash it, your wadding's going to all crumple and come apart. So it has to be quilted. So rather than just do straight lines, this is where you can start making all these pretty designs. And this one here is a very subtle circle. Can you see there? And what Marie,
yes.
it's Marie in the team's made this. She's actually used a variegated thread as well. So it stands out even more. So if you're doing, say you've got a white backing on your fabric, what you could do is use a white thread and then it doesn't show up as much. When you get a bit more confident, you can start using coloured threads and make a feature of it as well.
Is that the same that you give me here then on this cushion?
Yes. So that's the same sort of technique. So with that one, you've got that the monotone. So you've with that, that's actually the Drunkard's Path from our builder block set.
Yeah.
Has been done. And then the same ruler, the circles, have been used on there to make a spiral design as well.
And then that one as well. Look at that. Beautiful.
And that one's actually the clamshell. So that's the one that was on the floor. The rule on the floor. I'm getting in trouble. Sorry, Ben.
No, that's all right. It's
Sorry,
fine.
Ben.
It's fine.
But yeah, that was the clamshell. So it just shows you how you can use. It's just your imagination, really. I'm just going to flick through a few of these.
Yeah,
So
I'd like to see them.
these are all different ideas of what you can do with them. You're getting 3 sizes in each one. So if we've got the 3 different sizes in here, and this one's the circle. So you can just see what different effects. So that one's
Wow,
like quite a random one, isn't it? And that one looks a bit like the clamshell, but that's actually done with the circle.
Yeah.
I'm just going to whiz through them because they're...
Spirograph there.
And then we've got the orange peel.
So eventually, so you're using these with that special foot. So
Yes.
eventually, once you've kind of not exhausted these, but would you eventually go from these to kind of doing free motion? Is this going to help you get to that, if you know what I mean?
Not necessarily. You can do both.
Okay.
A lot of people won't still... I mean, I love this one, the apple core. Look
Yeah.
at it. It's just so cute. A lot of people will do both, but they find that with the rulers, you've got that security blanket, if you like,
wow.
that you're not going to go off. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
You know, you think, oh, we're back to the circles. And that's the clamshell again. So you can just see how many options. And then you're just going to sit and play with however you're going to... whatever pattern you want to do. So I'm going to set up, I'm going to show you how we set up the machine. So it's like a little mini masterclass, if you like. Let me get my bits out the way.
All right. Just flashing up at the bottom of the screen there, by the way, if you are going for the quilting pattern guide 4 pack that we just shown you there, you will get your free binding tool worth $6.99 or $9.95. So that will come to you today. Basically, if you're spending £20 or $20, that's the free gift that we are giving away if you're buying in the sewing category. So $56.97 or $74.85. Right, masterclass then on setting up your machine. Here we go.
Here we go. So the first thing you want to look for on your machine is, does your machine have a setting to drop the feed dogs? The feed dogs, if I take this foot off, the feed dogs are these little teeth underneath, and this is what, as you're sewing, they move and drag your fabric through.
Okay,
Pull it through. Pull rather than drag. So what we need to do is for those to be dropped down. Now, if you don't have that feature on your machine, what you can do is set your stitch length to 0. So if we look on the back here, let's see which ways to see. You can pull it along, so you press. We've got it along there. That's it.
There you go.
So we've pushed it along. It'll go. Sometimes some machines might have a switch on the front or a button, an electronic button or something. So if you find it in your settings of where you put your feed dogs, because what's happening is you're going to be guiding the fabric, not the machine.
Okay.
And then I also set my stitch length down to 0. So even if I've dropped my feed dogs, I still drop it. Okay, so I'll drop that down, and you want your needle in the centre position. So the next thing you do, if you've got an extension table, pop that on. Now personally, when I'm sewing, I always have my extension table on, because I find that you get used to having that work area. And obviously if you're in a confined space and you can't, but if you have got the space, I would pop your extension table on. A lot of machines come with it. I know we haven't got any of the Stitch Pros in stock, but this one actually comes with the machine. Now, if you haven't got one, you can look and buy generic ones, or you can even prop some books up around the outside or something like that. Yeah, or some people might have posh tables where the machine is set into the table. I haven't got one of them yet.
Wow.
Maybe one day.
Next
when I
level,
win the
that,
lottery.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, and it makes it all flush. So what you want is a nice big area to work with on here. So the next thing we want to do is sort out the foot. So on the show, we've got the low shank.
We have.
And we've got the high shank foot.
How do you know whether you need a low shank or a high shank?
So the easiest way to do it, I'll just get my screwdriver. The easiest way to do it is take off the ankle on your machine. So that's this bit here. So you're going to unscrew it. So if anyone's had put a walking foot on the machine or a foot that they've had to take this bit off, you've taken this off before. So Ben, you'll get used to this. I like my top tips.
Oh yeah, well we like the top tip earlier on.
Top tips.
With the
Good.
photography.
I've got another one.
Okay.
So whenever you take your ankle off your machine,
yes,
always leave it attached to the foot, because you've got less chance of losing that big piece.
Oh yes.
So if I take that off, so if you've got two small pieces, if you leave that attached on, because that's how it would have been when it was on the machine,
yes,
you've got less chance of losing that.
I feel like you need some sort of sound effect for your top tip.
Well, I've also learned that from experience.
Right.
And had to buy a new ankle for my machine because I found the foot and couldn't find the ankle. So you're going to put that back in your little case or whatever that you've got with your machine, and it's out the way. And then we do need to take this screw out.
Okay.
Of here. Now, to know which size you need, the majority of sewing machines, what people will have will be a low shank. If you've got a higher level machine, chances are it may be a high shank. But to be able to tell is, once I've took that off, I've put my foot down. So, you've got your lever on the side of your machine here. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to measure from the centre of the screw hole there to the base plate. And if that's 1/2 inch, it's a low shank machine.
Okay.
If it's more than 1/2 inch, and either 1/4 inch or an inch, it's a high shank. But you must have that down. You must have that down. So that's how you can tell. All of the machines that we provide are low shank machines. If you can't find it and you can't get in touch with your dealer to find out, contact customer services and they'll come to me and then I'll check for you and let you know.
Yeah, because that's the other thing to mention, isn't it? All the questions come to you almost, don't they?
Yeah, they do. yeah. That I'm our soft crafts expert for customer services as well. So yeah, so if anyone does have a problem, chances are it'll come to me.
Brilliant.
So what I've done there is I've just popped that round the shank. So this is the actual shank, this black part here that you can see. So when we're referring to the shank, that's that part there. And then what you're going to do, there's a groove in here, and you're just going to place that in there. And this, I would say, is the only little fiddly bit, is putting the screw back in. So you just want to get it in and catch on. And I'm left-handed, so I was saying before the show, it's easier for me because I'm left-handed, but it's gone there, it's fastened.
Fair play that you're doing this on TV as well.
I know.
It's the kind of thing I definitely wouldn't be tempted to do.
I haven't tightened that screw up yet. I've just got it, so I just want to show you. Can you see how that moves up and down? So there's a groove in there. Now what I would do is when you first put it on your machine, when you get it new, lift it with your finger at the back up as far as it'll go and tighten the screw. Because that is usually where your setting will be. Most people who I've spoke to, when they've had issues with fitting the foot on and they're not sure if they've got the correct foot, it's been that they've had it too low down. So when they put the foot down, this is touching the metal plate and then nothing at all is going to move underneath there.
Yeah.
So have it raised up as far as you can. And if you find once you're stitching that's a bit too loose, you can always then drop it down a little bit. So now the machine is actually ready to sew. So now we just want to prepare our fabric. I'm just going to take this off for now. Oh, just while so I've got some room here to show you. So what you're going to do is get your fabric and your wadding. So I was saying you're always going to have those layers that you're going to stitch through. So I did iron these at home yesterday, but I've got a nice little crease in there now. So if you're replicating a quilt, you're going to have your fabric on both sides and your wadding. So I've just got one layer here, and this is where I'm going to use our stick and spray. So this is the temporary adhesive. This is absolutely perfect for quilting. So you just always give a little bit of a shake and sharp bursts. There we go. And then I always pop it on there and smooth it down. Now, I'm going to show you a top tip. Now, this isn't my top tip. This is Alison in our design team. She showed me this tip and I was like, whoa, I like that. So once you've got your fabric down on top of there, I'm just going to turn it this way because it's this part here that I've sprayed.
Yeah. This
part I haven't sprayed yet. We can see how it looks a little bit creased. If you get one of your rulers and just, can you see how it's like it's flattening it out? Obviously, it's still a bit creased here where it was in my bag.
Yeah, but no.
But it takes all of the creases out and you don't get any, I want to say air bubbles, but obviously it's not because it's
we know what you mean,
but you know what I mean.
Yes.
And Alison showed me that
bubbles.
and I was well impressed. And she did say to me at the time, no, Bernie, you can have that one. And I'll say, no, credit where credit's due. I'm a great believer in that. Because we all see inspiration online and see ideas and then get inspiration from it, don't we? So I used to do this and get it so it was nice and flat, which is fine, it's work for me. But then when Alison showed me that, I thought, oh, I like that idea. So there, you're going to get your fabric ready and then you're going to decide on your design. So if I just grab, I'm going to do the apple core. I'm just going to grab it. Where is it? Apple core. It would be the one on the bottom, wouldn't it?
Always the way, isn't it?
And I'm thinking, so I don't know which design I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm thinking, right, I want to put one in the middle, and then I want to put one in each corner. So in effect, this is like my quilt block. So I'm thinking, how am I going to line them up? So this is where the reference guide comes in. Details coming up on the screen for this. I love this. I absolutely love it. Now, we could have done this in a Mylar template form, but we decided that we wanted it to be sturdy. This is the same thickness as your ruler. So if I get my ruler that I had here, that I use with my rotary cutter, you can actually use this reference guide around the outside with your rotary cutter. So if I wanted to square this up and say, right, I want to square it up, I can actually use it at the same time. So you've got a dual purpose. So I've now got a perfect corner there, and I haven't actually got my big square ruler out because I can use this at the same time. So you can cut around that as well. So it is ideal to have as a multi-tool, if you like. So what I'm going to do is I want to find the centre of my piece. So I'm just lining this up here, and this is then where the erasable pens come in. Oh, yes. Love them, love them. Details coming up for these. You're getting 6 today, I think. Yeah, 3. Details on the screen. $8.98, 2 packs of 3, or $11.93. So you're getting your blue, black, and your red in there, which are great for different colours of fabric. However, if you've got a black fabric that a pen's not going to work on, then you can use your mark-away spray as well to mark with as well. The fabric that's gone that I'm looking after there. So we've got a centre point here. So I'm going to mark my centre point. And I say I'm going to do one in the centre, but I'm going to do one on each 4 corners as well. But I want to be able to centre the design. So basically all I'm going to do is just draw up. And these points here are all at 45 degrees. Now, there's plenty room in there to get your pen in. You're not going to struggle. It is a guideline. There are measurements on here from 2 inches square up to 12.5. So if you're wanting to measure the size of a square and you want to draw a square in the centre, so say I wanted a 4-inch square, I could just put the dot. In fact, I'll do a dot because it'll stand out. If I just put all the dots at the 4-inch line, And this is where, for me, it works great for applique, because if you are wanting to centre something up, and I've also brought with me just a little table runner that I made ages ago, again with 2.5-inch strips. Who was that? Was it Miriam?
Who
was asking
that?
about the 2.5-inch strips? So
Sarah.
Sarah, I use 2.5-inch strips loads.
Yeah.
There we go. I don't know if my head was in the way there. Sorry if it was. So if I take that off there, can we see now that we've got our 8 points? But also you can see where I've dotted those in.
Yeah.
There. So if I wanted to make sure that this was within that 4, I mean, it might actually, when I get the apple core on, that I've got that guide in there. And then the other thing on it as well is there's other lines on here as well. So what if you want a 16 points, so this will give you 8 points at 45 degrees. If you wanted it 16, all you're going to do is line your centre dot back up.
Got you.
And then just rotate it. Can you see how the lines I've already drawn, I've lined up with those solid lines. And then again, I could go in and put those other lines in if I wanted to.
So is this a must-have to, if you're going for the 4-pack, for example, is this a must-have to go in your basket as well?
Oh, I would say definitely grab this if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you got this and like I say, I've used this where I'm using it for applique, not even for quilting. It's just great to have as a reference point to line things up, because you've got all those squares in in 1/4-inch increments anyway, all the way up, and then you've got it there like I did, and I cut out to square off. So when you're finishing your quilts and you want them all lined up before you put your binding on with your free binding tool that you're going to have if you spent the £20, you're going to have this all squared up, lovely, ready for that next step. And I think if you I always take a bit of time between each step, because you're then going to get a better product at the end, or a better result. So I've got those there. So I'm just going to get myself ready, Ben, and then I'm going to do some stitching.
Good-o. Well, I've got plenty to tell you about. Don't forget, if you're going for the Quilting Pattern Guide reference guide, $29.99 and $24.95 automatically gets you your free binding tool as well. If you're buying anything from the Sewing Show, $6.99 that's worth, or $9.95 that will come your way. So if you are spending with us today, nice little free gift from us as well. And also, just if you want to go for the Quilting Pattern Guide 2, you will get 4. We've only got 3 here because I've broken the set. $56.97 or $74.85. With that, of course, you get your orange peels, you get your apple cores, your circles, and your clamshells as well. $56.97 or $74.85. Now, oh, hello. Oh, she's getting her gloves on over there. your quilting gloves. Now, you can get these as well. There we go. 6 jazz hands, $6.99 or $9.95. I guess sensible to have these, you know, so that you're not ruining what you're doing, I guess.
Well, twofold as well. So, well, they protect your nails as well if you just had your nails done.
Yes, okay, yep.
But no, the main purpose of them, I'm just losing my earpiece there, sorry. The main purpose of them is to help you grip your fabric.
Yes.
So when you're putting your fabric under here, and if anyone's ever watched any videos online or seen us do these before, what happens is once you've got it under here, you're actually moving the fabric.
Oh, I
so
see.
You're the one. If you think of it as a, how do I think of it? If you're drawing with a pencil, you're moving the pencil. It's reverse of that. You're moving the paper.
Got you.
And the pencil still, if that makes sense. So as you're doing this, on these gloves here, they're great because they've got rubberized tips.
Tips, yeah.
And they're on both sides. Now, I've had gloves before that only have them on the one side. So you have to remember which is left and right.
Oh, okay.
With these, it's on both sides. And you can see that mine are well used. I do use them.
That's all right, we'll let you off.
Yeah, I do use them. And it helps you grip. Now, the other thing with these is they're not just for your free motion stitching and you're using your pattern guides. If I'm doing a big quilt and I'm wrestling with that quilt to get it under the sewing machine as I'm stitching, these actually help your wrists and your shoulders as well. So they do all help help just to, because you do start to tense up a little bit. You will be like, "Ooh, I want to get this right." And because you've got that grip there, you're not slipping. It gives you that little bit more support. So I do like to wear them. But I say they do need a clean.
Well, we'll let you off. You will, of course, if you're getting these, you will, of course, get clean ones.
Yes, you will.
$6.99 or $9.95 if you want to pop those into your basket as well. Always handy to have those. We've got those brilliant magazines, which we will recap on in just a little bit. Really busy for all of those. Issues 17, 18 and 19. We'll go back through those again in just a few moments for you. Back though to Bernie, if you want the quilting pattern guide, the 4-pack, details on your screen here. But I think we are ready to keep thinking you're going to do a bit of mime or something with those gloves on. She's not really.
So yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm doing a little test piece, and I always have a little test piece at home where I'll just do it just to check that my tensions are correct and everything, that it's sewn okay. So I'll just grab my scissors. Oh, the big scissors, there we go. Right, and I'm quite happy that that's stitching okay. So let's get going. Right, so I say I've got the apple core here,
okay,
and I've got those lines there. So I'm not sure if you can actually see on the overhead there where I'm just going to line it up. So on here, where's my bit of paper?
Oh yeah, we can see now. There we go.
Oh, I nearly dropped everything there. So if I look, can you see on here that you can see these little dashed lines?
Yeah.
So those lines are your center points. And that's what you're going to line up with the lines you've just drawn.
Got you.
So you're going to match them up. So let's have a go. And what you've got is you've got a half of the shape. So you can do it by half and then make the complete one, or you can just continue doing halves. So say you're doing a border, and you say you're stitching it on a 2.5-inch border, that would fit in there perfectly. So you can do one, move it along, move it along, move it along. But I'm just going to do this one in the centre. So what you're going to do is you're going to rest it on there. You're going to take it to your machine. And if it slightly moves, then you can just line it back up again because we've got those marks.
So you go half and half to make the full shape, or you could almost go on at every single angle to create something even more.
Yes.
Couldn't you?
And you could, I mean, I love doing them as a rotating pattern as well.
So is that how you create the sort of spirograph effects that we've seen on some of the cushions?
That's what I always think about when I do this. Yeah. Now, the other thing I'm doing is, if I can just grab my screwdriver. I've lost my unpicker. I must have left it at home. I've just used my screwdriver. What I'm doing is just bringing that bottom thread up from underneath. Because what will happen is, if you don't, it can sometimes get in a knot. And you don't really want it to get in a knot. And I'll cut that shortly. And all I'm going to do is I've got one hand on the ruler and I've got one hand on the fabric, and I'm actually going to move and hug the outside shape with the foot. And what you'll find is sometimes you need to go faster or slower, and if you've got a needle down position, use that. So I'm just going to cut those threads away because I don't want them to get knotted. Now, when I took my hands off there, I saw my ruler move a little bit. Because I've got those drawn lines on, I can put it back into position. And that's the great bit. And then, we haven't even demoed the heat yet, have we? So what will happen is, when I put an iron on these blue lines, they're going to disappear.
Like magic.
Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop with my needle down. I'm going to take my ruler away.
Okay.
I'm going to turn
the fabric.
Yes. Put the ruler back in. What you could do is actually leave the fabric where it is and turn the ruler, but you'll find your own way of positioning it. And then I'm just going to hook the ruler back in. That needle's in, it's not going to move anywhere. And I know a few people, when I've spoken to people before, and they've said they've had trouble with it moving. If you have got that needle down function on your machine,
it's handy,
it's invaluable. Yeah. So I'm just going to go down.
It's quite fun, this as well, actually.
It is. And once you get into it, you'll find that I'm not going as fast as I normally do at home, but I didn't want to take the chance of going a bit sort of doolally and going off. So if I take that out now, just cut my bottom thread, and we see there we've got that apple that apple core shape, but that's the half shape.
Might have to put that up to Sarah Zoom, Bernie Zoom.
Shall I put it up?
Here we go.
I'll
make a noise.
I've got a bit wonky at the bottom, but...
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, brilliant. That's
there we
right.
go, you can see.
Yeah.
And I went off a little bit, but that's fine. No one's going to see that. And then what you do is say, right, well, now I want to do that corner one. So think, okay, let's use that point. You remember we drew that 4-inch square? So actually, that's quite good because I want to start at that 4-inch square for when I do my corner ones. And then all you're going to do, I'll do just a little bit more on this one. I'm just going to position it back in. And I should have brought my thread up, but I know we push for time, I'm going to go for it. And I see all you're doing is, as you're going, you're pressing down on the ruler and the fabric. Oh. And there we go. In. That's it. So you're pressing down on that.
Yeah.
And then it's going to move. It's going to move with you. So if I quickly do the other side. Now what I did there was took my needle out, and I shouldn't have done.
I think though as well, what we're seeing with this is that if you are going for the Quilting pattern guide, you definitely need the reference guide as well, because it's going to make life so easy, so much easier for you, and particularly if you are brand new to this as well. Definitely go for this as well. So for $29.99 for the reference guide or $24.95, that is just going to make life much more simple for you. Everything works beautifully together, doesn't it? Your reference guide, and you've got those pens in there as well, which you definitely going to need to get. Then to go with your quilting guide as well, and you're going to be away very quickly indeed with all the goodies that we've got.
I say now I've rushed that, and I didn't put my needle down there, so forgive my little loop. I haven't cut my thread underneath, but can we see there? I've got that centre one, and then I've got that one on the angle. And if I followed it round and did all of those on that point, that would be perfectly symmetrical. So I know we were talking earlier, Ben, we were saying about how the mind wants to be parallel and symmetrical, doesn't it? And that's what you can do to guide it round. So just in a real life situation, if you like, you're going to have a quilting block. So if I just I'm just wrecking everything, aren't I? Oh,
I'm the one doing the wrecking today. I shouldn't know about that.
So if you've got, say you've got a block, because you wouldn't regularly stitch onto plain unless your quilt is plain.
Yeah.
So if you've got a block like this, I'll take my gloves off now, because I forgot I had them on there. And this is where you can start playing, where you can get your reference guide again. And you can say, right, my centre square there should be 4 inches. Well, look at that. My 4-inch line is lined up perfectly on there. So if I know now, if I put that centrepiece in there, and I'm going to draw all of these lines up here.
Yes.
That these are all going to be central. Oh, I've missed my middle ones. And then that's when you can then start looking at your shapes and thinking, right, which shape do I want in there? So if I've drawn the lines on there, you can start playing. And a lot of the time I'll sit and play on here before I actually even go to my machine. So I'm going, oh, well, actually, that one's going to fit in there. Or, well, that one, that one's going to fit in there. So I'm going to do the centre one in there. Say, the big one's not going to fit in because it's going to go over onto there. So I know that I'm going to do them ones. And that's how you can start planning your design and stitching out. And that's why I absolutely love having the reference guide as well, because it does keeps you on track. And then when you have this little table run I was saying that I was doing, I can quite happily plan on those, again, 2.5-inch strips. I can plan what design I want on there, and then you're just going to play. They're absolutely fantastic. I love them.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having a play, having some fun with this, and loads of people loving the demonstrations as well. Great tips. Bernie says should die. Lots of people giving love to the pens as well. The pens are so much better than the old chalk or pencils that erase too easily. says Michelle Parsons on YouTube, and Anne Molyneux on YouTube. I love my heat pens too, even recommended them to my friend. So again, you can kind of see how the pens are going to work perfectly with your reference guide and your pattern guides as well. The pens, you're going to get 6 in total in different colours for $8.98. It's a 15% saving, or $11.93 if you are in the US as well. Lots of love for the gloves too. Michelle's saying, I love the gloves. They're much better than the ones that I had before. And Shadai says, Ben, I've just noticed that your shirt is matching the session today. Matching the set, or it says session. Matching the session. What am I matching with? Am I sort of, yeah, sort of, was it? Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Well, you know, you think we just, you think we just throw these together. We don't. Right, stay. Let's remind you about the magazines that we've got on the show as well, because you are going crazy for the magazines. We had all the fabric earlier on, which flew out the door because that was at stupid low prices. But we've also got these magazines as well, which are so busy. Issue 19 is still available for you. So this is a half price deal for you. £5 or $7.48. You've got the ability with this magazine to create 20 different projects. You've also got included in here the pattern to make this amazing bag. I mean, seriously, just gorgeous. So you can be putting that together. It also comes with all of the hardware that you need as well. So you've got your D-rings in there, you've got your strap hooks, also your sliders and everything else. And as we said, just jam-packed with so many different projects. And the great thing is you flick through here again, you'll see that you've got projects for all sorts of different abilities, and it even tells you there as well. So if you are brand new to this, there's projects for you. If you're a little bit more experienced, there's projects in there for you as well. And also included in this, I'm not going to spin up, but let me get it off the back of the chair actually, because last time I did this, I destroyed the set. But I mean, seriously, are you kidding me? That is amazing. We've all tried to put this on, some with more success than others. It's the lockdown lard, that's why I can't get it on. It's the lockdown lard. I'll go for a run later. But you can make the dinosaur tail on there. There's loads. There's patchwork. There's brilliant gift ideas and home decor inspiration as well. But seriously, you've got to make this, haven't you? You've got to make that. So that is issue 19, the So Inspired magazine. Also, now if you think that's a great price, £5, issue 18, £3. Or $4.49. This is a 70% saving. Again, included in here, you've got so much. You've got your patchwork perfection included in there. So again, gives you an idea of some of the things that you can be making if you're into your patchwork. All beautifully done. Full instructions from start to finish included in there. You've also got your fabric included. You've got your magazine, of course, with 25 amazing projects. And once again, front to back, back to front, it is jam-packed with ideas. Right, the thing is with this, you've got the ability to make a dog bed or a cat bed, or as Bernie pointed out a little bit earlier on, this could be, I don't know if they still do these anymore, like a big slipper. You know, you're sitting in the lounge, aren't you? You know, last thing at night, you want to keep your feet warm. You could use it as that, but I think it's supposed to be a pet bed. And also, you've got this beautiful sort of candle runner as well for your table. I mean, great for Christmas time. You've got the ability to put that together as well, but patterns for all sorts in there, as I say, and it's just brilliant. Lots of festive ideas as well. Look at that, the Santa apron as well, just great, you know, for when you're doing all your Christmas bits and pieces. There's a clutch bag in there, but all the patterns and your templates included as well. Just brilliant. So many ideas to get the creative juices flowing, and all of that for the small sum of £3 as well. And if you like that, why not push the boat out and spend £6 or $9 to get issue 17, which again is jam-packed with ideas for you. Where's 17? Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is the one which gives you the ability to put together this amazing is it Barziello or Bargello? Barziello.
Yeah.
Barziello Quilt. You've got in there, as I say, your tote bag pattern pack. You've got fabric included in there as well, and you've got your template, which is for your cute critters. So you can make your little your cats and dogs. But imagine putting this together. I mean, how lush is this? All the inspiration you need. All the details that you need as well in issue 17, which is £3 or £4.49. Love it. £3, £4.49. That is issue 17. Be quick on those though, because like the fabric went earlier on, those are also flying out of the door at a great pace. Remember, if you're spending more than £20 or $20, you will get yourself our free gift as well, which is the binding tool. That's worth £6.99 or £9.95. That will go in your basket. And one other thing just to mention as well, if you are shopping with us, make sure you get your hands on the BBQ, the barbecue. Well, it's not actually a barbecue. It's Bernie's Bonus Quilt. It's a free download, which you can find on our website if you just go to the Shop the Show section. Now, something else which is proving really popular, which I know we're going to be having a look at in just a few moments' time, is the Snap Fastener Set. We added this actually onto the show last week as a sort of a last minute substitute, and it flew out of the door. So handy to have. $29.99 or $34.95 for this set. So basically, it's going to allow you to add fasteners to all sorts of your different projects. Like, for example, now, no word of a lie, Bernie gave me so much stuff earlier. Where are those bits that you gave me with the snap fasteners on? I want to show them. Wait there. Just hang fire. Just talk amongst yourselves. Ah, here they are. Here they are. Honestly, I've got so much stuff here. I've got... Wait, move that. Right. So look, little snap fasteners on your little sort of wallet there, or a little purse. Very handy to have. Love this. No, I do not want any more children, but when I see stuff like this, it makes me very broody. Look at that. You got your little baby's bib as well with a cheeky little monkey on. It's really cute. And then also, for example, you got a little bag. Very handy to have. And the fact that with the Snap Fastener Set, you get the tool, and then you get the selection box as well, right? You get it all. 225 fasteners with the actual kit to do it. It is brilliant, honestly. $29.99 and $34.95. Lots of people commenting about the snap fasteners on today's show and last week as well. Lots of people saying what a great tool it is. So we're going to see this in action, I think, in just a few moments' time. But if you pop that in your basket too, you will of course get your free binding tool. Keep those messages coming in. We've got lots and lots of people getting in touch. It's great to hear from you all. Dieta saying, learning so much today. Shadai saying, Ben, your shirt has flowers on and so do all the fabrics. I see what you mean now. And let's ask you a couple of questions as we come back, Bernie. So Michelle says, how would you use a pattern guide on a quilt that has an applique design that makes a picture? I don't want to ruin or take away from my design.
So, an applique that makes a picture. So what you could do is, if you've got an applique, that means that you must have some background that's plainer. So you could actually do the design in the background, and then maybe even just stitch, obviously free motion or with your walking foot, around the actual picture. Okay. But you will need to secure it somewhere in the picture. So if it is all applique pieces, you could go around a lot of the applique pieces. If you follow the guide on your wadding, that normally says if it's 8 to 10 inches apart gap that you could leave without any stitching. Okay. So if you follow that and see how you get on. But if you do a blending thread as well, like we had that one before with the variegating thread that stands out. If you have one that's a similar colour, you can actually buy invisible thread as well. I know, invisible.
Wow. How do you know you bought it if it's invisible?
Exactly. It just looks like an empty reel. But you can buy invisible thread again. Yeah. But I would practice with that, because sometimes that can take a bit of use to sewing with, because the tensions will need changing on your machine. Okay. So just have a little bit of a play. So hopefully that'll be able to sort you out on that one.
Lovely. Couple of quick fire ones then, because I really want to show you this next demo. So quick fire question. Clarice says, what is the purpose of those gloves? If you could just quickly recap on that.
So the gloves, they've got rubber tips on there. Yep. So what they're helping you do is to help you grip the fabric, because as you're pushing and moving the fabric around on your machine, your fingers can slip. Okay. So by having the rubberized points on, Can you see? You're not slipping as much. So when you've got your fingers on the ruler and on your fabric, it helps, and it does help your wrists as well.
Great, and also great for jazz hands as well. And one more question before we move on. Cynthia on Facebook says, I want to start making the bags to get more advanced. What should I use to make them more structured and not floppy?
Right, so there's a couple of things you can do. You can get a heavyweight interface in, but if you still want some sort of thickness to your bag as well, use a wadding as well, but use a heavier needle on your machine. So if you normally you're looking at an 80-12 needle on your machine, go for a 90/14 on your needles, for a heavier weight one. Or you can actually buy, we have had in stock before, but I don't think we've got in stock at the minute. I know we do struggle to get some things back in at the minute. It's called foam interfacing, or foam on a roll. And where that is actually, it's, say maybe half a centimetre, or no, maybe a bit more thick, and it's sort of, I haven't got anything with it in actually to show you. It keeps its form. And there's another product that we sell called Decoville, which looks like chamois leather. It looks like leather, and it's adhesive on one side, so you can iron it on, but you don't need to. You can actually sew in again, but again, use that heavier weight needle and possibly even your walking foot as well, and that'll give your items a lot more structure.
There we go. Lovely to answer all of your questions. Just enough time, just about to sneak in any more if you want to get those in before we finish in about 15 minutes time, which is a good note for me to pass you back over to Bernie to look at the next demo. Are we going to look at the snap fasteners? We are, yes. I love the snap fastener. The other thing as well, Ben, we're getting 225 in that selection box. We're getting 100 already in with the tools. So 325 sets. And that's not pieces, that's sets. And you're getting all different colours in there. There's some little flowers in here, some hearts, some stars as well. You've got different designs there as well. So everything for any project. I was going to make this little scissor case, and you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm just had a quick glance at the clock, and I'm gonna go for it to make this little scissor case that's actually in So Inspired 17. So if you get that one, you can make this little scissor case, and this has got the poppers on, and again you're getting step-by-step guides in there. You're also getting the template, which is in the centre of the magazine, that I've already pre-cut out. Now I've actually got, I don't even know if we've looked at the cork fabric yet, so we've got our fantastic cork fabric on the show. Yeah, someone mentioned about the cork fabric earlier on, saying they loved it.
Absolutely fabric. So this is the brown, the chocolate, and it's got like a gold flecking, and then I've got, I'll hold the box up. So we've got the green one with the gold fleck, and then the blue one, Oxford blue, which is the green one's forest. Absolutely beautiful. I'm just checking what size you get on here. Is it half? So 50 centimetres by 65 centimetres you're getting on this. You're getting a really big piece, and for this project here, you only need this small little piece here. And I've also got a piece of the antique gold that's sold out.
Don't talk about that.
Now, I'm going to be really lazy, and I've got another product, Ben, that's going to show you how lazy I want to be.
Well, lazy's good, isn't it? I mean, it's not, but it is good in a way.
Good. Yeah. It's good. You're going to like this one. And also as well, I didn't get a chance before, but you know, I had the iron out on the heat erasable pen.
Oh yeah.
Just iron it off. I do something when I'm iron. Look, it just disappears. Just disappears. There we go. But I do need my iron for this little bit. So there's another product that we have, another spray called Pattern Spray. It's this beauty here. And I absolutely love it. We've got it in stock on the website. We haven't got it on the show. That's my fault, because I should have said, please can we have that on the show? Because I'm going to use it. I'll learn for next time. Better next time. I must do better next time. That's it. Should I be getting lines? Ben, we'll both be getting lines after today.
At least you didn't destroy the set. You kept your set intact.
And then what I've got here is, this is just ordinary copier paper. And what this is, I'm going to spray it on the back. So I'm just going to stand to the side of me to spray it. And you don't need a lot. You just want a light mist, and just give it a couple of seconds to dry. Now, once it's dried, it just feels like there's a bit of a coating. There's nothing there. It doesn't feel sticky. However, once you put it on your fabric and you apply your iron and you apply heat, the heat activates that stickiness, which is a glue, and it sticks on here. So I'm going to iron that on. I'm going to hold this up and you'll see that that's not falling off.
Oh, yeah.
That's not falling off.
Cool.
So essentially, what you can do then is cut around your pattern. But you know, I said I was being lazy, and obviously we haven't got loads of time. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to stitch around the outside of the pattern. I'm not even going to cut it off. So I'm just putting some pins in the outside here just to hold this in place, and I'm just going to quickly whiz all the way around the outside, but I'm going to leave a gap for turning on my shorter piece because that's going to be on the inside of there. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly whiz around there, Ben.
By the way, just whilst you're whizzing, as it were, we're back, of course, in an hour's time, just over an hour's time for our launch party. It is me and Craig, who's back from his, well, I think he's back from his Ols anyway. He's supposed to be back from his Ols. We will be here in just over an hour's time. During that show, I will be announcing the winner of my Facebook competition. You know, I only started here, last week, but the Friday before that, I quickly came in and said hello to you and launched my competition for that Gemini Go and some dies as well. Well, I know who the winner is. I will be announcing it. Oh, yeah, I have. I'll be announcing it, a little bit later on. Loads of entries into that, so thank you. And also Craig's got a little surprise for you as well. He's back from his Ols and he's in a pretty good mood, apparently. So we'll tell you more about that later on.
He brought us goodies in, didn't he?
Yes, he did bring us lots of goodies in. Are there any left in there, guys? He brought us some shortbread. Oh no, producer Johnny's eating them all.
So I've got a little confession, Ben. When I started off, I forgot that I was sewing around the outside. I started sewing on the paper. But it'll just rip up, it'll be fine. So I'm just going to quickly sew around here. Oh, it's exciting that you're going to draw your winner. So was it a junior and lots of goodies?
It was a Gemini Go.
The Go.
And lots of
goodies.
That's a good... Oh, no, just a sec.
Oh, dear. Do you know, we were starting to behave and then someone's back from the holidays, disrupting everything. I'll mention no names, but he did bring some lovely shortbread. Yeah, he did. I'll come through and get it in a minute. There's loads in there. He brought about four big packets back. There was. If the boys are there and eating them all. Yeah, because we haven't had lunch yet, have we? No, we haven't. We haven't had lunch. We were too excited to do the show. So forgive that I stitched. I just totally forgot that I stitched it. You can't see anywhere unless I go zoom up, so I'm not going to zoom up. And then what you can do is then just trim it around and just leave yourself. And this is where you can just rough cut. So it doesn't have to be exact. So if you're a bit worried about cutting exact, or you're scared of a rotary cutter and you're afraid to use scissors, with this, because your stitching was accurate, because you followed the shape round, your cutting doesn't need to be, just needs to be trimmed. Yeah. And then because we put that pattern spray on, well, I'm using my bin as well, I'm being tidy. So this is just going to rip off where I stitched. What happens is it peels off, you know, like those little memory notes you can put on things and it just peels off. Yes. It's like one of them, look. And the fabric, there's nothing on. And then what happens is, every time you use that again, you just iron it again. And up to 10 times, I've done it more than 10. I've done it a lot more than 10. Yeah. But to 10 times, the heat reactivates the glue and sticks it back down. So, right, I'm going to turn this through. And then, believe it or not, we're almost ready to put the poppers on. Seriously? We are. I'm just checking I've caught it all in. And the poppers as well, you can put through loads of different materials, right? It's yes. Not just cotton. So I've got some, so this, obviously I'm going to go through fabric and the cork. So I've got some faux leather next to me that we've gone through. I've got some glitter fabric. I did have some leather somewhere, but I think I've left it in the box samples. Shocking. Shocking. I just need to get rid of those threads. I want to put it back. And so I'm going to turn this through. My favourite thing, actually, look. Pair of socks. Yeah. If you're putting your socks in the wash. Yes. That's a cracking idea. Socks. Pair them up before you put them in. That's a great idea. Because how many times does this washing machine eat the socks? Yeah. Well, it eats them, doesn't it? Exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to turn this through. I mean, all sorts. I say you had that bib there, aprons. Oh yeah, little bags. So when I was in at the weekend, and Liam, one of the guys here behind the scenes, he's I'm loving that snap fastener, Bernie. Well, I had a spare one, so I brought him it in. He's away. He was sending me pictures on the night of stuff that he's been snap fastening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty much snap fastening anything then, can't you?
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's going through. I mean, it'll go through leather.
Yeah.
And if you're a card maker as well, it's going to go through card. You know, anything that you just try the thickness through, you get all the tools with it. So once I get this pushed through here, I'm not going to sew my hole together because I want to show you how to use the
I got your bib on.
fastener. Oh, look, Ben, you've got your bib on. It's so cute, isn't it? See, I was got one as well because I didn't want us to be.
Oh, put your bib on! Yay! We can be bib buddies.
I have to though now. I'll slop down the front. I think it must be my age.
Oh no, I'm exactly the same. We try and eat at the table, but if we don't, we have a TV dinner. My wife always gives me a tea towel. She said, like, you just throw your food. You get more down your front than you do in your mouth. I think it is probably as you know, old age. We're not saying you're old. No. Old age for me.
No. Well, actually, the other day someone told me I look 10 years younger than I actually am, and I said, I shall take that. I shall take that. So, what I'm going to do now, what you would do is you'd give this a bit of a press.
Yeah.
And you'd sew up that hole, but just for time and me little bit of wonky stitch in there. What you're going to do is it's going to fold over that way. Is it that one? That one in first, and then that one. So I need to put my poppers on this side here for the outside bit. So...
We were saying earlier on that this would be great for putting your chips in. Or an ice cream holder.
Yeah, an ice cream
holder as well.
Yeah. So it just sits nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It sits nice.
Posh ice cream.
But you could make these for children.
Yeah.
For little girls, and if they've got little dollies, they could put the little dollies in.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
It's like a little sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag for the dolls.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, Ben. Once you start looking at things, you see they do give you inspiration.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the stuff in our magazines, there might be something in there you look at and think, oh well, I wouldn't make that. Oh, but actually, I'll use that method on something else. And that's where you get the inspiration. And that's why I like them. And for that price today.
Well, it's bonkers, isn't it? When you consider you get the tool, and what you say, so 325 altogether of the fasteners. That's amazing.
Unbelievable.
That's a lot of chip holders.
That is a lot of chip holders, right. So I've moved that now. I need to put it back so I know which way I'm doing it. That way on, that way on. Right, so I need to put them in here. So what you're going to do, so in your kit... you're getting your little pokey tool, and you're just going to put your little pokey tool of where you want to put your snap fastener. Yeah. So I'm just going to put it through, and I'm pushing. And what I tend to do is I put it between them two fingers there. You could do it into a foam mat or into an eraser, but you just need to make sure, obviously, because that's sharp, you just want to think of the safety of it, really. So that one's going. I'm still thinking again, which way am I going? That way, top way. Right. So you push the one that looks a bit like a drawn pin through. And then I always just press it down with my nail. And if you struggle, you can always use the little pokey tool or the brad or whatever. I don't know what the official name is. It does have instructions which would probably say the actually official name. Yeah. And then you're going to get the other piece, and again, just press that on. So it's on there, but it's not secure. We can still see the point of the drawn pin, and this is where your tool comes in. I shouldn't have chose yellow, shouldn't I? That was a bad choice.
We can just about see it.
You can see it, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
can see it there.
Zooming in.
So on the tool itself, there's on the bottom bit, you can see there's a little dish.
Yeah.
And the drawn pin head sits in that little dish, and then the plastic bit on the top just lines up. And once you get it in place, just give it a little wiggle so you know that it's in place. I then set it down. Yeah. And I squish it.
Okay. Is that the official term?
That's the official one, yeah. There isn't, this isn't a strong spring, so it doesn't take a lot of pressure needed. But if I hold that up now.
Oh, yes.
Can you see my little drawn pin prong has gone?
Yes.
It's squished. And that's kept it together. So then I'm going to do the one on the other side. Now, to work out where I want the one on the other side, I'm going to fold up my scissor keeper. And I'm going, right, I know where I want my hole to be. So what you do is press down. And it'll mark
it.
it'll mark it, so
That's
you know
another top tip.
exactly where to go. Oh, I'm full of them, Ben,
You
honestly. I love me top tips. So I can see there, you can see, look. Can you see there? I've got a little circle there. Let me tell. So I'm going to put my pokey tool, that's what I'm calling this, my pokey tool. Put my pokey tool through there. But this time I want it to meet the other way. So I'm going to put my drawn pin from the other side back through.
Yeah.
And then again, just press it round. I find if you don't press your fabric round whenever you're doing these, you can't get as good a grip. So there we go. And then we're going to get the other piece and pop that on. And again, just press it on. He's shocked. Don't let Sarah know I haven't pressed this. I'll be in trouble. And then you're going to put it. So what you've also as well, if you find that you've got too much fabric here, it squidges up because you've got quite a big space in there. So you can get it. Now on some things what I'll do is put the poppers on before I make it up.
Yeah.
And mark it. So you know exactly where you're going to be. So you can see out of habit, I'm doing the wiggle.
Do the little wiggle jiggle, yeah.
Do the little, we'll have to make up a little like tune for the snap fastener. There we go.
And it's done.
And then that then goes, and then if we put that down, there we go.
Chip holder.
Chip holder. So we chippy dinner. There we go. Our scissor holder.
Or scissors, yeah. Bernie, thank you so much. I cannot believe the time has gone. We are up, we are done. Make sure you check out your baskets and hopefully you managed to get your hands on some amazing deals. Thank you for all of the messages. Thank you to Cynthia on Facebook who says, you're initiated now, Ben, referring to the fact that she says you're not a full presenter here until you've destroyed the set. Well, I've done it twice, so that makes me number one, doesn't it? Bernie, thank you so much once again. Lovely to see you. Give us a final little wave.
Thank you. See y'all soon.
We will see you very, very soon, and I will see you in just about an hour's time. We are here for a launch party. I'm going to be joined by Craig, and in between times, I'm going to go into the gallery and eat all of the shortbread that he's brought back. See you in an hour.